on Sheviit Perek Dalid Mishnah, fifth Mishnah in the fourth chapter of Sheviit. So now we're going to talk about cutting down trees. In the previous Mishnayot, okay, we talked about dealing with thinning out olive trees. Now we're going to talk about cutting down the trees themselves, or cutting branches off the trees. And as we're going to see, the Chazal prohibited you from doing work that would improve the tree itself. But if I want to cut the tree, if I want a branch of the tree, if I want to use the wood of the tree, I'm not prohibited from using the wood, just like I'm not prohibited from benefiting from I'm encouraged to benefit from the fruit that grow. So in addition, if I want to cut off a branch or a beam or a board and use it for building or for firewood, I'm permitted to do that, but I have to do it in such a way that it's not beneficial for the tree itself. So says the Mishnah, Hamavkia bazayit, a person who bokea means to cut off, to chop. You chop off zayit, a branch of the olive tree. So, and remember that olive trees are incredibly, incredibly hardy, and their custom was to cut them down. Actually, if you've ever seen an olive tree being planted here in Israel, you'll notice what they do is they literally cut it down to the stump, and they do transport the stump, and then it just grows beautifully back. Olive trees are known to be extremely, extremely hardy. So if you cut off a branch of the zayit, so they would cut it off, and then it would grow back, because they would use it. This is something that was clear that they did all the time. Hamavkia b'zayit. Lo yichapeu ba'afar. So then what they would do was they would, you create a wound. So they would generally, lachapot means to cover it. They would cover it with afar, with dirt, and that would sort of prevent the tree from drying out. That was beneficial for the tree. I don't know if this is actually true according to modern science or not, but it's clear according to the time of the Mishnah, that's what they would do. So the Mishnah says, Lo yichapeu ba'asfar. You can't cover the wound, the area of the cut, with afar, with dirt. But you can cover it with rocks, stones, or kash, or with straw. Similarly, hakotzetz korot shikma. If you cut off korot shikma, sycamore tree, the sycamore trees obviously were used for korot, for beams. Very important source of wood. Again, lo yichapeu ba'afar. You can't cover it with dirt. You can't cover the area of the cut with dirt. But you can do it with stones, small stones, or with kash, or with straw. Let's look at the Bartanura for a second. Lo yichapeu, habikua, the area of the cut, ba'afar. Sharehu mitaken bekach, because by doing so, you're mitaken, you're fixing the tree, you're improving the tree itself. Sheha'afar na'aseh tit, the dirt mixes with the lechut, with the wetness in the tree, and the sap, umashbiach ha'ilan, it improves the tree, it makes it better. But you can do it with avanim and kash, you can do it with stones or straw, then you're not improving the tree, it's not ACL surgery, where it makes the tree stronger, but you're just not preventing it from drying out. The Mishnah similarly says, "En kotzatzin betulat b'shikma b'shviit." So they wouldn't cut the trees down entirely. They would cut the tree down, and then by the act of cutting sometimes improves the trees. This is what's called pruning. You prune a tree, you cut some areas, and then it grows better. Somebody who knows how to do this can make the tree grow fuller and much nicer. So betulat shikma is a betula, a virgin shikma, a virgin sycamore that's never been cut before. Says the Mishnah, Ein kotzatzin betulat shikma b'shviit. You can't cut a virgin sycamore and shviit, mipnei shehi avodah, because that's avodah, that's work, i.e. it's improving the tree itself. So Rabbi Yehuda says, Kedarka asur. Normally, to cut the tree is prohibited, and we're going to see what that is in a second. Ella, o magbia asarat tfachim, o gomem me'al haaretz. You have two options. You can cut the tree, but your two options are either you magbia asarat tfachim, mean you cut it above 10 tfachim. So the way they would cut it below 10 tfachim from the ground. The 10 tfachim, they would cut it below that, and then the tree would grow better. That's because they wanted the tree trunk to grow thicker. Okay? So, the option he gives you is, magbia asat tfachim, you go above higher than 10 tfachim, o gomei me'al haaretz, or you cut it literally next to the ground. You cut it down to the stump. Because then you're showing that you're not doing it in order to improve the tree. Then you just want the wood. So either you cut it down to the stump and you could take the wood, or above asarat tfachim, above 10 tfachim, because that wasn't the ideal height. It was above the ideal height that was for the benefit of the tree. So we see Chazal didn't prohibit a person from taking and benefiting from the tree itself. What they did prohibit was a person taking wood from the tree in such a way that would improve the tree over the long run. That would be prohibited on Sheviit. We will stop here. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to contact me at rspolter@gmail.com. Here we are. And I'll dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, as I always do, Harav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a great day.